Good morning to the P&F Committee, and thank you for attending this morning's meeting. The first point of discussion will be the additional requested funding for the Humanities Department to allow them to include civics and citizenship into their grade 11 history classrooms. Whilst conferring with an expert, the idea was raised that civics and citizenship is not only taught from bell to bell and should be incorporated into most, if not all, of our classes, as well as extracurricular activities. This is a subject that the Queensland and Australian government recognise as being vital to the development of our children and a successful nation. Evidence of this is present throughout important curriculum documentation, such as the cross-curriculum priorities and the general capabilities. Civics and citizenship education covers a wide range of topics crucial for our students to be educated on. Not only will they be expected to be somewhat active in the political sphere as adults, they may also be asked to give their opinion on topical, polarising issues, both past and present. Its amalgamation with the history curriculum makes it convenient to be able to teach students how to make informed opinions and give respectful opinions. Civics and citizenship also emphasises the importance of values education, which, as we all know, only furthers our whole school approach to shaping confident and respectful young adults. Next year, the grade 11s will be studying the changing world order, with particular emphasis on the Vietnam War in the context of the Cold War. These events had and still have great effects on members of our community. The Humanities Department feel that the most effective way for the grade 11s to learn about this topic is through interactive learning. For example, once they have sufficient topic knowledge, talking to a Vietnam veteran about the events they experienced will be much more beneficial to our students than reading about it from a textbook, as well as being a meaningful and memorable experience. It is important that our students are aware that these events that occurred before they were even born still have such a great impact on surrounding members of their community. It is for this reason that the Humanities Department has suggested that the grade 11s partake in the St. Mary's Vietnam Veteran Outpost Education Day. Through this program, they will get the opportunity to partake in role-play activities, discuss with experts, and have memoirs read to them from both Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australian ex-soldiers of the Vietnam War. This notion is supported by a university expert who confirmed that the best way to meaningfully teach civics and citizenship, particularly to EALD students, is story sharing. It allows students to experience empathy and gives context to some of the facts they've been learning in the more traditional classroom. This openness also allows for extended discussion and questions that may not naturally arise without story sharing. Although this is a free seminar, the Humanities Department does request a small amount of extra funding for this day so that we are able to provide our volunteer guests with a free lunch. As well as this, at the conclusion of the semester for their final assessment piece, the Humanities Department would like the Year 11s to participate in their own project-based learning showcase. A piece of their own creation, for example a poster or a short film, will be displayed in a gallery walkthrough style. Those invited will include members of the P&F, teachers available in this time slot, their parents and carers, as well as a representative from the St. Mary's Foundation. The Humanities Department would like to be able to provide finger food as well as commemoration pens, poppies and pins that can be sold. All proceeds will be presented to a representative from the St. Mary's Vietnam Veterans Outpost. By supporting this foundation, students will be furthering their learning experiences. 2 of the 3 cross-curriculum priorities are covered within this unit, those being Asia and Australia's engagement with Asia and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures. Another overlap with the curriculum that can be found within this unit is in the students' showcase, where they'll be developing their general capability of personal and social capabilities, as well as ethical and understanding and intercultural understanding being addressed by the content taught by the St. Mary's Vietnam Veteran Outpost Education Day presentation. The main document Australian teachers use to govern their practice is the 2008 Melbourne Declaration. This states that one of the main educational goals is to create active and informed citizens. We in the Humanities Department feel that the most effective way to do this is to engage students in interactive pedagogy and real-life learning. Research supports this method of education, showing that role-play and interactive learning is one of the most powerful methods to foster both education and empathy throughout a person's life. The assessment piece attached to this unit is a creative piece that will be presented at the project-based learning showcase. Although, theoretically, this unit could be done completely in class and the assessment could be submitted to the teacher online, this opportunity ensures that students have a higher academic accountability. If they're aware throughout the term that their parents, peers, and teachers are going to be seeing the work they presented, they're more likely to put in more effort. The Professional Learning Board, an organisation which provides teachers with online professional development sessions, outlines some of the benefits of students having academic accountability. Some of these include higher rates of academic achievement, more positive student-teacher relationships, peer conferencing and learning from each other, improved student behaviour, perceived academic autonomy from students, and as a result, students taking responsibility for their own learning. This research is supported by a thesis written by Professor Blanchard, who confirms that the most meaningful environments to learn in are the ones in which students create their own learning. As well as benefiting our students, this program will also provide their parents and carers, as well as the wider community, an opportunity to engage with what their children are doing within the classroom, which, as we all know, is something we've been trying to roll out as a whole school approach. While on the topic of parents, the Humanities Department would like to highlight that this showcase would provide a fantastic opportunity for parents of diverse backgrounds to interact with the community. Our statistics from the previous year show that 17% of our school cohort speak a language other than English at home. This indicates that, likely, their parents do as well. We propose the collaboration of our department with the EALD department to help ensure that these parents and carers feel as though they are accepted as a part of our school community. We do, however, recognise that all situations are diverse, and any students who are unable to bring their parents will be invited to bring 2 alternate guests. It must be considered that our grade 11 students here are almost adults, almost ready to go out into the world. This assessment piece allows for service learning, allows them to interact with and support other members of our community. With the money raised from the event going to the St. Mary's Vietnam Veteran Outpost, the students can feel as if they're contributing to their own society, the one they'll be a part of in just 2 years' time. It's important that students feel as if they have a purpose to learn, or they know the reason that they're learning this content rather than just studying textbooks. To learn about a specific issue, such as the Vietnam War and how it's affecting members within their community, and then to know that their final showcase is going towards benefiting members of this impacted community, helps improve students' academic motivation and purpose. As well as this, service learning allows for a reflective, strength-based approach to learning, improving students' academic self-efficacy, which we all know is incredibly important coming into their senior year of high school. It is for this reason that, on behalf of the Humanities Department, I would like to officially request an extra $350 be added to our budget next year. This will not only allow us to provide lunches to distinguished volunteer guests entering our school community, but also allow us to ensure that our Year 11 students are able to participate in meaningful community activities. I would also like it to be noted that while civics and citizenship is an important part of our students' learning, it is not officially included in this school's curriculum. So to include it into our history classrooms means that we're going to need extra resources and extra funding to cover this extra subject integrated into ours. To conclude, this program and the extra funding that it requires will not only greatly benefit our students, but also their parents and carers, the local community and the wider community, including the St. Mary's Vietnam Veteran Outpost program. Civics and citizenship is an essential element of the curriculum, and this extra funding will make it possible to integrate it into our history classrooms for the grade 11s. For reasons outlined, this integration program will help us create active and informed citizens to send out into the world. I thank you all very much for both your attendance and your consideration of my request, and we would now like to move on to matters regarding inter-school sport.